And
big TAMs that's a silly thing.
Yeah.
Just a silly thing to be thinking about.
Yeah,
we get 1% of this $1 billion market. God,
yeah.
shut
So
up.
actually, on that, I want to give you an analogy. Is it better to have 100% of a $1 million market or 1% of a $100 million market?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather have 100% of a $1 million market and just own it, right?
Start it up. Let's get it rolling. Big ideas, money folding. Hustle smart, dream so wide. Turn that grind into a joyride.
Self, your perceived digital self.
Yeah.
So in the Matrix, you have the perceived digital self. So that's like what you want to look like, right? So I think like we want the theme song to reflect us because we think it's cool and it sounds cool in our mind.
It is cool.
Okay. Easy there, cowboy. So the case in point, we think that therefore makes us cool and we're consistent with it. But I think the feedback is generally that it's a little bit inconsistent. That maybe it should be more chill because we're kind of chill and fun and we say dude and stuff.
We're not. We're super anxious, weird.
But then it's certainly not an anxious like the vibe's off. I think is the comment. You know,
I like the vibe. I really like the theme
There's a difference
song.
between what it is and what we want to be, Christopher.
No, but I don't care what other people think.
Folks,
about
if you
theme
zoom
song.
in real close on him, you can see the moment when his heart breaks in two.
I just like it. I think it's cool. I think it's got a good vibe. It's chilling. It's it's rolling.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah. I don't agree to that.
I don't agree to that. All right, what are you doing here?
All right. Anyways, we're not changing the theme song.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so this episode, if I can cue this up for you.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking a lot about 0 to 1 days. Okay. So when we were starting our
Peter
business,
Thiel, or like you mean like 0 customers to 1 customer?
Yeah, there's definitely a book with this name.
0 to 1 is actually not, that's not what it means. 0 to 1.
What are you talking about?
Peter Thiel's thing, 0 to 1.
What does it mean?
Oh, it's like a 0 to 1 thinking. It's like thinking deeper and like it's about being more ingenuitive. And it's been a while since I read the book, but something like that. It's not about going from 0 to 1 customers. It's like going next level.
I've actually never read 0 to 1. So
it's actually really fun.
I know.
Peter Thiel is batshit crazy, but that book is a really good business book.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, Peter Thiel.
Yeah, right. Okay.
He could be in this room right now.
Here's what I mean though. Going from like when
just hanging off the ceiling.
When I think of like 0 to 1, I'm thinking more like you have no revenue, 0. And then all of a sudden you have money actually coming in.
Okay, so like Chris is 0 to 1.
That time where you're building your product, you're trying to figure out what you're doing, all that sort of stuff. So, and we're kind of in that right now. You've got Operation Stealth that you're working on, and you're currently a 0.
Yeah,
probably a minus something right now.
Might have money next month.
Okay,
would be the running theory.
Okay,
but I'll still be in the hole pretty deep to start.
We're gonna do a big reveal on what your Project Stealth is.
Probably February episode.
Okay, all right, cool.
Maybe.
So, and then I'm also working on something with you.
Yeah,
which is in
another thing
the 0 to 1. Yeah, I'm not involved in Project Stealth. I'm just a well-wisher.
And that I do not wish you any particular harm.
Exactly.
You wish harm, but not any particular harm.
Or when you need somebody to like use Illustrator and help you because you don't have a Adobe Creative Cloud license.
No, I do. I have an ARM machine now, and I can't open Illustrator.
Sure, dude.
It's what it is. I use Photoshop actively.
All right, fine, whatever. Okay, so
this is why you're not part of it.
I guess so. All right, so we have together another 0 to 1 situation where we're trying to build another app. We'll reveal that at some point.
Oh, spoiler.
Yeah. But so I've been thinking about a lot of that stuff because it's funny. When we started AppArmor, we had actually started about 6 or 7 other businesses. If you've read the book, you probably know a little bit about that. Yeah, right. Show the awards again.
Yeah,
show the
where
awards.
the awards.
Anyways, so I'm thinking about this a lot because it's really tough. 0 to 1 is really, really tough.
Yeah.
And I had to almost like refresh myself on what the right principles are on 0 to 1 and how to kind of get things moving and be successful and avoid some of the cliches. So what I want to start with is 3 essential tips to get to your 1. Okay. Maybe that's $1 or maybe that's 1 million, but in that early like stage of your building your product or your company. Yeah. Okay. So, the Valley of Death. Have you heard this term? okay, is this area that
It's from Gangster's Paradise, Coolio, I believe.
friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah. Anyways, that's where a lot of startups die, is kind of in this phase, this 0 to 1 phase, where you're kind of like, hey, I got this idea, but I can't really get it off the ground.
Which, to be clear, is different from the land of the living dead, which we can also talk about later. But okay, that's fine.
Yeah, know, and so a little bit of data: 35% of startups fail because there's just no market need. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy to me that over 1 in 3 businesses fail because nobody needs the thing.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Okay,
like you got to validate if somebody needs the thing.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go through these tips. I'm going to get your hot take, and you just open up that mind of yours and just like let it rip.
Oh
okay?
boy.
All right.
And what a mind it is.
So tip number 1, sell before you build.
Yeah, 100%. This is a lot of the time people come to us and are like, or like we'll go speak at university, or like something happens where we're around a bunch of entrepreneurs. And people will be like, I've been working on this thing and it's almost ready. And I'm like, and then they're like, how do I get a first customer? And I'm like, shit, that sucks.
You should have done that 6 months ago.
That's the first thing you do, actually, is you go and you find somebody who says, not only do I like this idea, but I would be willing to open up my wallet and give you funds from it.
Yeah.
And so definitely finding the customer first. Because the other thing too is that when you find the customer, you're actually finding the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a lot closer to the problem and understanding the pain points, as opposed to basically taking your best guess. The thing that happens with the best guess is you're always wrong. It's guaranteed. You're wrong even when you have the customer with you and you're trying to build it and you're trying to figure out what they actually mean, what they actually want, what the problems they're actually having. So you're just at a humongous disservice when you start with the product without the customer.
Right.
Does it mean it's impossible? Like, no, absolutely not. You can do it. I just think it's less, you're going to be more likely to be in that bin of the 35% of people who failed because they didn't have any market.
Yeah. So when I rewind and think about the businesses we were working on when we started, around the time we started AppArmor, so like, the bookstore stuff, the ebook thing, the news app for the campus newspaper, like almost all of those had a first customer before we even built the product. Like we saw the market need. We went out, we built the tech, and we inserted it in. And then after that, a bunch, all but one failed. Okay.
Or were you like modest exits, like extremely modest exits, like not millions,
certainly
not hundreds of thousands, like, dozens of dollars later.
Like even, except for the AppArmor, even the best exit on that was, I think, the document management software product that we sold off.
50 grand.
But dude, if we like do the math on how many hours went into that and how much we sold it for,
yeah, for sure.
We were making, like,
no, all good,
pennies an hour, right? Yeah. So wasn't worth it. Yep. So now when I think about the same tip, so fast forward to now, okay, your project Stealth, our project, I don't know, whatever, that we're working on, I am worried about this because both of these things that we're doing are consumer facing products. They're not B2B. Everything we did before was B2B. Okay. And we could go to one person. There was a pretty big initial purchase price, at least worthwhile. Okay. Now we're trying to do B2C where we're picking up pennies in front of bulldozers. Yeah. Like the amount
might be a bit aggressive, that metaphor, but yeah, I see what you're getting at.
But we're trying to sell much smaller basket of goods.
Yeah, but
from a dollar
the velocity of sales is considerably higher if you do.
The potential is higher, right?
The potential, yes, is higher, but I think there's I have a lot of thoughts on why you might feel uncertainty on this. In the context of this particular discussion, I would say that this comes with the territory of consumer products, but at least in the thing that we're working on together, we do know the people that it affects, and we do know those consumers, and I will validate whether or not they pay for it. Once we get to we have to accept a certain level of minimum investment to show people a proof of concept. Right. We would have done that. You do that in B2B too. Yeah. That's not unreasonable. Yeah. And by the way, B2B takes forever to pay you and all these other things. And there's a bunch of other complications.
I got you. But I guess what I'm worried about is that, so first of all, we are some of the users of this. Okay.
Yeah.
And which is good and bad. Okay. Good that we kind of understand the problems, or at least we understand our perception of the problems in the way we live our lives. But we don't have that external pressure of somebody who's outside, willing to write a check to keep us focused. And I find that focus is one of the bigger challenges. It's better now, but it's easy to get distracted. And I think when we were starting our first businesses, we had that pressure of, oh, these people are waiting for us to do this awesome thing for the next meeting.
That'll happen. That'll happen.
Yeah.
Because here's something that I've learned over time is that it doesn't really matter what you charge people as long as there's an increment of money. If there's a effing penny involved, they will hold you to that pretty hardcore. Here's a fun side business that I can mention that failed years ago. I think we might have mentioned it on a previous show. Is my wedding umbrella rental business, which is incredibly lucrative, that failed. But I remember like it was like $40 an umbrella or something like that. They were pretty good umbrellas. And we had like one customer and they had paid us like a pretty small amount of money. And it was like they owned our ass. Like they were immediately so demanding.
They're also having a wedding, and it's
weddings
raining,
are insane,
and they're absolutely losing their minds.
There are lots of reasons why I didn't want to be in that market after I realized what I had done. But I think so to your point, you will have motivation pretty quickly once you have a person paying for it. And I think that's pretty quick to find in some of these consumer spaces.
Okay, so actually the wedding umbrella rental business is going to come into play in our next tip. So don't forget that.
Okay.
But that's the only thing that I want to point out here is that even though we're giving out advice, we're not it's really hard, and we understand that it's really hard. In fact, we're struggling with the sell before you build.
The other thing that I think I want to just flag for us particularly, and you listening today will have your own strengths and weaknesses, but for us is we're just not good marketers. Like I don't think I'm a good marketer. And I
better salesperson than
I can really do sales. I can build a sales team. I can sell myself. I can figure it out. Not sexually sell myself, but yeah. But I mean,
if anybody was confused,
I can sell as well. Yeah. Well, just clear things up. It's a PG show.
All right.
Hang on. But I just think that we
sorry. You totally forgot your point.
I wasn't sure if I should say it. I was tiptoeing around it in my head. I'm like, oh boy. But I'm just saying that we're not good consumer marketers, and we're not big social media guys. And so these things kind of go hand in hand. And so it makes me nervous about it too. So I'm with you on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm very nervous about it.
All right.
If you don't have early funding, are you a real startup? Yeah. This and 33 other startup myths are busted in Startup Different. Find it on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle.
So tip number 2 for the 0 to 1. Okay. Pick a niche so small, it seems stupid.
Okay. What is the definition of stupid?
Umbrella rentals for weddings.
Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty stupid.
That's pretty stupid.
Actually, it was really stupid.
Yeah.
For a lot of other reasons, but
I mean,
but look, think about it again though. Let's go back to the businesses that we started. What are we going to call that? Like our first, like round 1 of our business experience. Okay,
like that.
Round one of our business experience. There was like 6 or 7, and so like ebooks was pretty broad and it was brutal. Okay.
Dying market was its issue.
The used book thing that we built was pretty small actually. And actually it had a bit of traction. Okay.
It did okay.
It did okay for a while.
It didn't charge enough.
We didn't have a good
The business model didn't work.
Yeah.
The revenue model was totally broken.
Yeah. The app for newspapers, for campus newspapers.
They had no money.
They had no money. But that was a super small niche, right?
Yeah.
Like, because we weren't even like newspaper apps. We were like campus.
You kind of the consolidation of like media as well in newspapers, I think also would have been problematic longer term because like eventually it's all kind of like rolls up to Fox, or CNN or something.
So then let me keep going. So the document management software was actually probably too broad. Like it wasn't a small niche. It was really tough because it was so broad. You're competing with all sorts of
you built
things.
a lot of features
it was all over the place. Yeah. And we didn't really know the customers either, which I think is one of the challenges.
That's I think often the challenge entering like the corporate market.
Yeah,
that's not a market. It's
not a market.
It's a vertical. It's like it's a vertical of verticals. Like in corporate, there's like manufacturing.
Yeah.
There's I don't know, media. There's every form of company.
Yeah.
So it's you can't go into corporate. Corporate is you have to really slice and dice.
Yeah. And then obviously AppArmor, which was pretty specific. We're going to build campus mobile safety apps.
Yeah,
Like
that was very
that was
specific.
pretty specific. And what the advantage was though, is because it was so niche, we could really know the customer and know what they needed. And that really shaped that product that worked out really well for us. It took us 6 or 7 products to kind of find the sweet spot there and like market size, but niche enough and very specific and customers that were willing to work with us. Budget, you know, the business model, actual financial model of it made sense. So so actually it's kind of interesting. So like a lot of people will talk about like total addressable market, TAM. And
big TAMs that's a silly thing.
Yeah,
it's just a silly thing to be thinking about.
You know,
we get 1% of this $1 billion market. God, shut up.
Actually, on that, I want to give you an analogy. Is it better to have 100% of a $1 million market or 1% of a $100 million market?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather have 100% of a $1 million market and just own it, right?
It's not even like a market, $1 million. Like I hear you.
That's a pretty small market, but
actually, the theory would be that you could sell more to those people. Like, because I think the crux of this is the better you understand and the closer you are to the customer, the better you can do.
Yeah. So, and actually that's really what the next thing that happens is that you own that niche, but then you start expanding from that niche. So that market of $1 million, all of a sudden you've got something adjacent that is very similar or whatever is now 2 million, and you own that, and you expand out from that like core that AppArmor,
we did that. Remember, we
exactly what we did.
We started with the app. We were selling for $3,000 a year, which is absolutely nothing. We actually did bring that price up over time. But more importantly, is we introduced new products that we could sell to and implement with the same people.
Yeah.
And then that led us to basically 5xing that revenue on a per customer basis.
So some of the different...
by the end, I think our average customer spend, sorry to interrupt, our average customer spend, I think, was around $12,000, $15,000 a year.
So different like expansion paths. Okay. So let me name off some different expansion paths. So geographic, demographic, product, customer, and use case. So let me talk about a couple of them. Think about Facebook. Started at Harvard, was then just Ivy League, and then was all colleges, and then everyone.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Okay. Amazon started off with just books. Then they went to kind of like electronics, and then they started selling. We're just going to sell everything.
Like selling anything.
Even Tesla started off with the $100,000 original Roadster. Okay, which is very early adopter, rich people that could afford that, to then, you know, other cars. But then they got to the Model 3 and then mass market. So there was kind of like the niche that leads to whatever.
It's your toehold in the market.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot easier to be in business or to expand your business and grow more when you're already in business. It's really hard to start something new. $0 to $500,000 is the hardest time for any company, I think.
Yeah.
Once you're past that $500,000 mark, you kind of like can get some economies of scale. You might have some capital you can put into people or material or systems or things. And then all of a sudden you have a much more reasonable business. One thing I want to throw out there really quick, just as I know we made another prediction, and this is a huge tangent just for 1 second. But did you hear that maybe Tesla might acquire XAI? Did you hear this? Did you hear about this? That was somebody put it as a prediction, just so Elon can have it all under one umbrella and invest in it and that kind of stuff. And
but they're already like, I know I can hit that button in my car and I can talk to Grok if I want to.
Yeah.
Can grok it out.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay,
what's your third thing?
Tip 3: do things that don't scale.
Oh, cool. Is it because is it kind of like I don't know if it's like a trick question or that's not the right term, but like anyway, whatever. Is it supposed to be like if you can do things that don't scale and you can figure them out and then make them scale? Yeah, then
that's the point, my man.
Sure,
yeah. So this is our AppArmor product. Okay,
it's like Reid Hoffman, one of the PayPal guys, also has a podcast, but I wouldn't listen to it.
It's on LinkedIn.
Anyway. Yeah, it owns LinkedIn, whatever. He loves like those impossible problems.
Yeah,
right. Because he's like, if you can figure out an impossible problem, you'll be very, very rich.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, go back to round 1 of our business foray. The AppArmor one was probably the one we were most scared of from a scaling perspective, because we were like, how the heck are we going to build these custom mobile safety apps for each school custom? Okay.
Yeah.
How we're going to manage all the app store submissions, the rejections from app stores, all the
It's a lot of stuff.
compliance stuff, all that sort of stuff. And really we did it through tech, like, building our product the way that it would scale. We did it through automation. So automating things like app store submissions, that sort of stuff. And then we did it with things like that were really simple, like templates. We would build apps basically by removing features rather than add them. So you would start off with every feature and you would just take away the ones you didn't want.
Through the content management system.
Modular approaches. So things like that. But that was great because like we were so constrained financially, time, employees, resources, all that stuff, that it forced us to think about that. But we did it later. We didn't worry about it. Customer 1, customer 2, customer 3. We just toughed it out. But then it forced us to scale that properly later, which I think was our big advantage. I think we had competitors that thought we had an army of software developers sitting in
we did tell them that on occasion at trade shows anyway. we would tell them that kind of stuff. But yeah, exactly. So
I
think there's something to be said. If you can scale an impossible problem, that there's a lot of opportunity there. That being said, though, like I would be a little bit careful here too. Like some problems are legitimately not solvable.
Yeah.
I think what it is that and sometimes people, especially a lot of entrepreneurs, we kind of want to jump to the end. We're very outcome focused.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the funny thing about those like iterative approach to improving your company, it's like really, really important, especially when it comes to these particular kinds of problems. Because if you were to take the things that we had sorted out by 2021 versus where we were in 2015, like the reason why we were able to really solve some of those really challenging problems was because we had been working on it for so long and been making little tiny improvements over time, that by the time that we really needed to figure it out during the COVID years, we had everything else in place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's really hard to jump from this thing doesn't scale and I'm not really sure how to do it to this is fully scaled and automated and perfect and whatever. Yeah. You're not going to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to make little gains.
Yep.
And then those gains are going to materialize into new systems and processes that maybe are manned by people. Maybe they're manned by AI agents.
Yeah.
Maybe both, whatever. But then over time become automated.
Yeah. Like when we were first starting, like we didn't have that content management system. I was having to do everything manually. And, it kind of reminds me, I saw a good thing that apparently like DoorDash, DoorDash.
The Dashers.
The founders of DoorDash were delivering food themselves.
So I love it.
Like, yes. I love it.
Yeah,
right?
I love that.
Like, and there, you kind of have to know that I'm willing to do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I think that is the nitty gritty of a startup.
Yeah.
Eventually you got to do it. At the end of the day, you got to do the thing, whatever it is. So
anyways, yeah. Yep. So that those are my 3 tips.
Cool.
So you want me to recap them for you just so that we can remember what we said. So sell before you build.
Definitely.
And guys, we struggle with this too. It's really tough. You got to try and get some money.
I heard of a guy once who put a product on, I don't know, like on Twitter or like he put something out there, or maybe he was on TikTok Shop or something, and he didn't actually have the product. But he got a bunch of orders, and he was like, "Oh shit!" And then he had to but boom, he had a business, right?
Exactly.
And so there is some level of like,
just takes courage, right?
It definitely takes a lot of courage. Or you have to be just a lot more tolerant that it could totally fail.
Yeah. Tip number 2, pick a niche so small it seems stupid.
I think small niches, like niche businesses, are always good ideas, or almost always good ideas.
Yeah.
Except for assuming
wedding umbrella rental.
I think it actually could have worked. I don't think I was willing to make it work. There's a whole other like going and
you should have charged $1,000 an umbrella. I bet you could have got it, and then you would have been paid properly for all the crazy wedding.
I don't know. $1,000 for umbrella seems like a lot. We definitely were undercharging, but that's okay.
It's really hard if you go and try and buy a white umbrella.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's really hard to find. It's really hard to find.
Like I'm with you.
Okay. Tip number 3: do things that don't scale.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a bit of a misnomer. That's kind of what I'm looking for. It's about trying to accomplish things that are difficult to scale.
Yeah,
and that will lead to wealth.
You're going to scale it later.
Slowly,
you're going to do it now, but there's a pathway to scale it.
It should be so intimidating that other people either in the market or thinking of entering the market don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Run towards that fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Run to the fire. Cool, man.
Hey, we're out of here.
Yeah, right.
Good luck with your business. See you next week. Hey.
Start it up. let's get it rolling. Big ideas, money folding, hustle smart, dream so wild. Turn that grind into a joyride.